Hi and welcome back if you're a returning listener. I'm glad to see you again. Today I want to talk about something that can feel a little uncomfortable, but also freeing when you understand it. What do you do when you've reached the ceiling on your current audience? You've poured yourself into your work. You've served your people beautifully. But lately you're noticing less engagement, fewer attendees signing up to your workshops or your event, and maybe a quiet worry at the back of your mind. Has it run its course? Let's talk about that, and more importantly, what's next? The ceiling that no one talks about. You know the kind of audience I mean. It's not that they're tired of you, it's not that they've stopped liking what you do. They've just moved on. Life has changed for them. They've aged, they've changed jobs, they've moved suburbs, they've started having kids, or they've simply outgrown the original desire that brought them to you. And this happens more often than we talk about, especially for those of us running community-centered businesses or events. It doesn't mean your offer is broken. It doesn't mean your work isn't valuable. It doesn't mean that for whatever reason you're running the event, that's no longer a thing of interest at all. It just means for the people who've already shown up, they've got what they came for. You served everyone you can serve, at least in the current circle around you. Now what? A real example, growing a niche event. Let me share a story from behind the scenes of a Melbourne-based community-run event I supported, Conquest Games Convention. When I first came in, the event was doing well. Attendance was sitting around 200 people year after year. For a niche event, that's actually quite solid. But the organisers had hit a wall. The same crowd showed up every year, and that crowd was gradually wearing down. And there wasn't a clear way to attract new people. The tricky part, they didn't want to overhaul everything. They didn't want to burn the event to the ground and start again. The event was loved by its loyal members. It just needed new energy. So we worked together to grow their reach thoughtfully. We didn't try to go viral. We didn't throw money at random ads. Instead, we asked, who else would love this and where are they? And here's what we did next. Strategic growth, Facebook ads with purpose. I created and ran a series of Facebook ads, but this wasn't a booster post and hope situation. We were really intentional. I spent time thinking about how to speak to someone who doesn't know the event name yet, who's never heard of the organisers, who might be curious, but needs more context. It's a completely different tone of voice to what you'd use with, say, your existing followers or people who already know you or past attendees to an event. And the results? We went from 190 attendees in 2018 and year after year, we steadily grew that to nearly 600 in 2024. That's more than triple the turnout of previous years for an event in a really niche interest group. But here's what I want to underline. It wasn't the act of running ads. It wasn't anything magical about just being on Facebook. It was the strategy behind them, the messaging, the care, the understanding that strangers need to be welcomed in a different way. SEO as quiet visibility. Alongside the ads, I did some SEO work, that's search engine optimization, to help the event show up more visibly when people Googled its name or interests that may be related to the kind of events that Conquest offers. For example, Conquest will show up on Google search results for things like Dungeons and Dragons or Dungeons and Dragons events in Melbourne, which isn't it's not 100% of what Conquest does, but it is a good entry point for people who are maybe aware of Dungeons and Dragons. That Conquest is a place where you can find that and then learn more about different tabletop role-playing games. Now, did that translate into hundreds of clicks overnight? Not at all, but that wasn't the point. Something quieter and just as powerful happened. Visibility. You see, even if someone doesn't click on your website the first time, and let's face it, with the way Google results are going, that is happening less and less, seeing your name appear again and again in those search results builds recognition, familiarity, trust. And for an event that needs around 350 attendees to be viable, that visibility counts. SEO isn't always flashy, but it works in the background, helping people remember you when they're ready. So what does this mean for you? If you're feeling like you've served everyone you can serve, it's not the end. It's just the end of that chapter. The next step is expanding your visibility, gently, intentionally, strategically. You don't need to overhaul your brand or reinvent your offer. You just need to learn how to speak to the people who haven't met you yet. Maybe that is through ads. Maybe that's through SEO. Maybe it's a combination or something else entirely. The most important part is, don't panic. Your work is still valuable. You're not failing, you're evolving. If this episode resonated with you, if you're nodding along thinking, that's exactly where I'm at, this is the kind of work I support people with. I don't offer standalone paid social ad management, but I can point you in the right direction if that's what you're after. I'm really intentional about who I work with and how, because I don't just want to manage tasks for people. I want to go deeper. I want to work alongside clients who are ready for thoughtful, strategic growth and who want a partner to help them make purposeful decisions about their marketing. So if that sounds like you, if you're feeling stuck, or if your audience has plateaued and you're ready to reach new people in a meaningful way, have a look around my website or listen to more episodes to get a feel for how I work. And if it feels like a fit, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here with me. Your work matters, and the right people are still out there waiting to discover it. Hey, this is Lou Kozlevcha. I'm a digital business consultant and I help allied health professionals, mental health professionals, and service providers grow online with smart and ethical digital marketing. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you hit subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with someone who'd find it useful. You can also follow along or get in touch via my website, loukoz.com. That's LOUKOZ.com. Until next time, take care and keep showing up.